One of my favorite things to do is share with you guys brand new fragrance houses. Fragrance houses that are kind of under the radar, and that's what I've got to share with you today. Tempus Vitae, a brand new fragrance house that was launched this year in 2022. Not only am I going to be doing my first impressions with you, I actually have a really cool story that I'd like to share with you about the perfumer. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Cue that intro. What's going on, my beautiful fragrance family? I hope each and every one of you are doing fantastic today, and welcome back to My2Scents. My name is Brian, and this is the channel all about helping boost your confidence through the art of fragrance and helping you become a lasting scent memory. So I finally got some fragrances up on a shelf back there. I got another shelf over there, but I will say I still got a long way to go. The saga is gonna continue. I got a lot more shelves to put up, but I got new lighting setup. Let me know what you think. I feel like you can see me a lot better, but we're not here to talk about all my success and putting up my fragrances. What we're here to talk about is Tempus Vitae. Now, the kind folks over at Tempus Vitae did send me 3 samples of their 3 fragrances that they launched this past year. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's whiffs and sniffs. The first fragrance I'm going to be spraying is going to be Fete d'Ambre. I'll leave all the information linked down below so you guys can find where to pick these bad boys up. Alright, so like I said, I have a cool story to tell you guys about the perfumer. So the perfumer is Kyle Mote Kannenberg, and I got to meet him at Scent Explorer. He's actually one of the perfumers that did quite a few of the fragrances for Black Cliff Fragrances, which I got to try the entire lineup when I was at Scent Explorer. And man, a lot of them were phenomenal. Some of them were but the ones that Kyle perfumed were fantastic. But that's not the story I want to share with you. Let's go ahead and spray this on, and I'll continue with my story. Let's see what this bad boy smells like. I'm going to spray these all on skin. Wow, okay. So I will go ahead and throw the notes and the story behind the fragrance up on the screen for you. And let's break this bad boy down. Okay, I get some like maple syrup, but there's a nice fruitiness in here. And it's almost a little boozy, like a nice woody backbone to this. As well as I'm getting some hints of coffee. And it's a little bit of like it's almost like a stone fruit. Maybe like, I don't know, is a peach a stone fruit? I think it is, maybe. Or is stone fruit its own fruit? But it's a little peachy. It's got a little peach quality in the background. It's very resinous. It's got like a little bit of a sweet smokiness to it. Could be some myrrh, some frankincense in here as well. But I get a lot of woods, and it's more of like a pine forest. Man, that's actually really good. I like the booziness. It almost has a whiskey quality to it. It's very warm. Be perfect for this time of the year. Kind of reminds me of autumn or winter or just kind of like the holidays. I'm also getting almost like a sweetness coming from like possibly some vanilla. And now that pine is kind of getting mixed in with a little bit of like dry cedar wood. I don't know if you saw my video of my haul that I got from Scent Explorer, but I shared some interactions and showed some, pictures of places that I went while I was out there, and one of those places was called Mulligan's. Well, Friday night, the first night of Scent Explorer, I was at Mulligan's with like Joe Anthony and Chris from Rare Fine Frags. I think Rico was there from Fragged Out Swagged Out. Autumn, of course. Also Bader from Primera Perfumes. And while I was standing outside, a few gentlemen walked up to me, and one of those gentlemen was Kyle, the perfumer for Tempus Vitae. And he comes up to me, he goes, "Hey man, just out of curiosity, were you in row 18 on your flight?" I was like, that's kind of a random question. That's kind of weird. Is this guy stalking me? I was like, yeah, man, I was in row 18. He goes, yeah, I was in the row right behind you. So we were on the same flight together, and we got to spend, that night, that evening at Mulligan's together, had a couple drinks, got to know each other. Super cool guy, and he doesn't live too far away from me, so I hope that I get to spend more time with him. We did share contact information, so Kyle, if you're watching this video, man, Fete d'Ambre, It's really good, man. But let's see what the rest of your fragrances smell like. Now, the next one we're gonna do is gonna be called Elixir de Vie, or de Vie. You know I'm terrible with names. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about. I'm gonna spray that on my other hand. Give it a good dousing there. All right, again, I'm gonna leave some information up on the screen for you, and let's see what we think. Now this one is a lot more fresh. This is way fresher than Fête d'Ambre. Ooh, maybe some yuzu, nice clean musks. Definitely some white florals, possibly like magnolia. Actually, it's just like a bouquet of like really nice white florals. Some nice citrus, like lemon. Nice green quality, possibly a nice citrusy green quality coming from maybe lemongrass. Oh man, but it's actually getting a little woody. It's got a nice woody quality in the background, possibly some ICO Super because it's got some nice lift to it. Okay, so Fête d'Ambre, I would say is unisex, but really leans a little bit more masculine. This one is unisex and leans a little bit more feminine. All right. So what I'm going to do with all of these, I'm just going to let them dry down for a little bit and give you my final assessment at the end of this video. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. And this one is going to be Carpe Diem. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is Carpe Diem. Here we go. I'm going to put this right here. And if you're wondering why I'm loaded up with all Washington gear, this is what my roommate got me for Christmas. So go Washington. I'm not going to say go Washington Commanders. I'm not a huge fan of the name, but you know how I feel about that if you've been following this channel for some time. All right, again, I'll leave some promotional stuff up for you so you guys can read a little bit about the story and the notes. Ooh. It kind of reminds me of walking into an old vintage library. I love vintage books. I love the way that they smell. The pages carry so much history and so much knowledge, and just the smells of these vintage books, man. If you ever get the opportunity, walk into an antique or vintage bookstore and find you a book and just sink your nose into it, man. I'm telling you, it is a whirlwind of amazing odors. And then sometimes you pick up a book that doesn't smell that good. In fact, it smells rancid. Definitely getting some patchouli in this. A nice fruity green patchouli. Some nice pink pepper, like a spicy sweetness to it. There's a nice citrus right off the bat, probably some lemon or bergamot, possibly some grapefruit as well. There's an interesting aromatic florality to it. Not really sure exactly what that is. Maybe some jasmine. Love the patchouli in this. That patchouli and possibly some labdanum or leather that is in this is really giving it that vintage bookstore kind of smell. Spicy green oak moss, musks. Okay, so that one's really good. I really like Carpe Diem. Or as Dane Cook would say, Carpe D's nuts. Name that movie. Yeah, okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let all these dry down for about 15-20 more minutes because they've been on my skin now for a few minutes. But I'm going to go get some more coffee because I'm pretty much out. Don't worry, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. All right, I've reloaded my coffee and we can break the internet together. Here are my final thoughts. All right, we're going to just go in order of how we began. So what first one we're going to go with is Fête d'Ambre, which I'll show you this one more time. Fête d'Ambre. This is like a woody gourmand. I really enjoy the dry down. The woods really become very predominant. But I'm getting more of that coffee. There's a nice bitterness to it, but a nice sweetness to it as well. With those spicy woods and a nice resinous quality. But it's almost like a sweet, smoky resin. So I'm definitely going to guess there's myrrh in here. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Fête d'Ambre. Now I am spraying all these with these little samples. And sometimes samples You know, the atomizers don't spray a whole lot, so I don't know what longevity is going to be or anything like that. I know they're all extrait de parfum, which is awesome. That does not mean that they're going to be everlasting and last for days. It just means that they're using a higher concentration of oils, and they're very polished, very round. There's no harsh edges to this. It's not square. This is very circular. But yeah, Fête de Ambre, it's good. It's really good. Good job, Kyle. So next one we're going to be talking about is Elixir de Vie or de Vie. Okay. This one's good. It's good. I mean, it's not something really I would wear. And the only reason I say that, it's got a little bit of that old school vintage women's type of fragrance. It's still a good fragrance. It's very well balanced. But there's almost something sour that comes off of my skin with it. There's so many white florals in this. Like, I think he probably just took every white floral that he could and he threw it in and mixed it all together. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. This is what you get. I would say that this is definitely a citrus aromatic. It almost has an aquatic feel to it, but there's something that just kind of does not really work on my skin. I would say for you ladies out there, this is a very elegant style of fragrance that would be perfect for mature women or even younger women who enjoy mature scents. I would definitely say this is leans very mature. Still a good fragrance, but probably something I don't think I would wear this, just to be honest. All right, last one we are going to do, Carpe Diem. Again, you can't really see that, but whatever. All right, we're going right here into my elbow, the cusp of my elbow. Okay, this one's my favorite. This is really becoming more into the sheep territory, or chypre, however you like to say it. It's okay. You can say it however you like. This as well has that vintage feel to it, but man, there is something about this that kind of just tickles my fancy, if you know what I mean. This one as well is very elegant. It's very polished. I'm really loving the oak moss coming off of it. I love the patchouli in here, getting some sandalwood in it as well. The leather kind of reminds me of a vintage leather bound book. Man, this is good. This one is my favorite. All right, Carpe Diem is my favorite. This has got really good projection so far. I mean, out of all three of them that I've sprayed, this is the one that I can actually, maybe because it's closer to my face, but this is the one that's actually like really popping off my skin. It's reacting very well with my skin. This is definitely a sheep. Like, this is a woody, oak mossy, slightly fruity leather and patchouli fragrance. I'm loving it. The sandalwood is done splendiferously. Yep, that is right. Made up my own word, splendiferously. I love this one. Absolutely love it. Now, this does remind me of a fragrance, but it reminds me of two fragrances coming from the same indie niche brand, and that's Darren Allen Perfumes. Now, his Sheep #1 is fantastic. I have not brought that one over here yet, which sucks because I really have been craving wearing that fragrance. But he also has I can't remember the name of it, but he has one that vintage book or something like that. It's vintage novel. I think it's vintage novel. That smells exactly like a vintage novel. And if you combine those two fragrances, Carpe Diem is what you get. I'm loving it. Absolutely love it. There is a floral aspect in this that is kind of triggering something in my mind. Like, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. So it's very intriguing. All right. So there it is, guys. My two favorites are going to be Fête d'Ambre and also Carpe Diem. And Elixir de Vie or de Vie, however you say it, is my least favorite. I'm not saying it's a bad fragrance. I'm just saying that it is not really tickling my fancy. It's not doing it for me up here, you know what I'm saying? So that's Tempus Vitae. Super, super excited to see where this fragrance house goes in the future. Hopefully they continue using Kyle, because I think he's an amazing perfumer. And you know, getting to know him, it's so nice when you get to know the perfumer behind some of the fragrances that you know you'll be picking up, because those two, Carpe Diem and Fete Ombre, I'm definitely be getting full bottles of very soon. So stay tuned for that, because I will be adding them into some videos. And I will also be doing some full reviews for you. Let me know down in the comments if you've tried anything from Tempus Vitae. Which ones are your favorites? Let me know your thoughts. I'm always curious to know what your 2 cents are. But that's it, guys. That is it for me today. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you enjoyed today's content, then do me a favor and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.